Yatahe.
Yatahe.
That's a Navajo greeting because the subject here is in Navajo. It's also the time the Celts know as the day of Bridget, or an Irish Bridie. And I think the name means bright. Very interesting, the people being called Navajo, they're Arizona, New Mexico. People that were the anthropologists and have more or less studied the native people of this country were totally fastened into 18th and 19th century ideas and vocabulary. Some of these people here are not Aborigines. Apaches are not Aborigines. Navajos are not Aborigines. These people come from another country in fairly recorded time and so forth. The Navajos are Dene, where they come from in the area of Khotan. Their language is West Turkestanic at the roots, and their language there has traveled here and has picked up a lot of Gaelic in it. And maybe they've been here 500 to 1,000 years, maybe that kind of thing, like that. Interesting, also in the Navajo lore, they sent an envoy back across the ocean to bring Changing Woman, that is Bridget, alias Changing Woman. Now, Changing Woman is the anthropologist's translation for Atsatnahilihe, which really means the woman that rejuvenates herself again and again. The idea of making a changing woman then makes her that she represents the change of the seasons. However, changing woman has become the standard reference, for her, and that's the language I would use in that. In Khotan, their ancestors, or people that they derive from, have the same name, not Dene. This is actually Indic. It's actually an Indic language, and that it is pronounced differently, but really is the same as the Gaelic Tudidan, meaning basically the people. Both these names come from the same Indic root to say all of that. Also, that the people Navajo is a Spanish appellation, meaning keepers of the field, is basically what it encompasses there. And they have maintained, the Navajo have maintained pretty much all of what was once the Gaelic pantheon, really amazingly. And last week I presented Hera Parthenia, the ancient Greek chief goddess that was appropriated by Mr. Zeus, and that became the institution of patriarchy and eventually monotheism. Whereas in this country, Native America has maintained continually the matriarchy in different fashions, matrilineal and things like that. And the Navajos, definitely have all of that there. And so what is recorded here that I'm presenting is the life cycle of Changing Woman. Now, I've painted this, and where I found it, it is in New Mexico. It's in a big rock. It's a wash, and it's a huge boulder that has a flat base. There's nothing around at that time. And I have exactly reproduced how it was etched into that rock, most precisely. I've only added the colors because I recognize what the myth is, and that's what I'm calling this, the life cycle of that. So I'm just going to go by the pictures, and generally there are stories and things to surround these. Here we start at the beginning here, when she was discovered. Actually, there was a mountain there, and this mountain started having a lot of atmospheric activity, clouds and thunder and lightning and all of that. And a couple known as the rock shirts, meaning a couple of horny-toed people, they were observing all of this. So I'll start with that. Here in the picture, this is etched on the rock. This is the mountain. Here is my portrait of this mountain. It's called in Spanish, Gubernador, gubernatorial peak. In Navajo, it's Chulu'i, meaning spruce, spruce hill, spruce mountain. Also, Cho Ashish Yadada, means in the beginning. This is in the beginning. So here's the mountain where she's born, and here it is on the rock. When Rockshort went up there to see what was going on, he found a turquoise baby. So that's what the turquoise means, divine. So here the etcher of this rock, has formed her in this way. And here, this white circle up here, she's also called White Bead Girl. And white bead is a very sacred token, I guess I would call it. It's used for a lot of things in the culture. So that's who she is here. And then here, this is her womanhood. Here on her manta, she's wearing a woven garment like this, called a manta, like that. And here, this shape, like a kind of swastika, is called White Thunder. White Thunder is her father, in a sense, of her birth. So that's the way that's figured there. And that here, her woven belt has these two balls at the end. They're called alkeneke, meaning one who follows the other. So that dawn and sunset follow each other. And they have a whole mythical reality because they continue to live with her in her present residence. Here, she's holding a cho, meaning a spruce branch. It's called the frond of life. The ancient Irish have the same thing. Here, these little specks of red. Rainbow was blasted to pieces by big thunder, and the pieces of his flesh are here on the frond of life, where he is going to be restored. So we will have rain sometime there. And her head is the head of an insect. The insects appear in the third world, and they become, I don't know, something, how you can say it, of the whole ancient woman's culture, just as we say insect, in sections, in parts, so that she is a unity of parts. That's what the whole feminine means there. And I should go right down here to this. This is Grasshopper Girl. Grasshopper Girl is the parthenogenic factor. She's what makes female female. And she also is the factor of change, of metamorphosis, and the germinator. And that she is also the recessive double of changing woman. Here she is also playing a flute, and here in the throat of her is this cross, which means her voice. The voice is, very, very important in this culture, and she's playing a flute because the symbol sound is loo, loo, loo. That's what she's doing. That means her voice. Here, these are her snakes, pet snakes, and it's a travel sign. It's a travel sign. She became very restless or dissatisfied living over there in Arizona, and that she decided to go west. So these, I'm just giving you the outlines, the briefs of these stories. But anyway, that's what she does. She travels west, and where she goes is to Santa Cruz Island. And a while back, Claudia and I actually had the opportunity to go there, and it is quite an amazing place in spite of modern people who have lived there. So this is the travel sign, and she travels, and over here is where the snakes have arrived at the island of Santa Cruz, which is called, House of White Shell. And here, she's the matron. So all of this is that she's going to be able to rejuvenate, transform back and forth. I should mention here, this is a little, what we call sand painting, actually, of Grasshopper Girl, also called Maiden in the Grass. I said that. So this is quite complete. It is east of the Rio Grande, and it's not within known, Navajo area. But a few years ago up there in Nevada, we had I had our daughter with us, Erin, there, and we were in Vivian's classroom, and we're taking a field trip out to Pyramid Lake. And the woman out there that greeted us greeted me in a certain fashion that wasn't Paiute. And so I asked her, and she was actually Navajo. And so I asked her to use the whole Navajo formality to the children so they would know what it was. We have other times brought Navajo songs into the classroom like that. And then subsequently, as a result of that, I did a drawing of this on the board so that the students made drawings from this and sent them to her. And I would have to guess that none of this is presently known to the Navajo because it's outside of their range. See what I mean? Okay. I'm going to have a piece because just speaking of this, this week has been a lunar eclipse. What's it? The blood moon once in a blue moon, sort of thing. My illustration here is to illustrate that. But what I'm illustrating it with is actually, I've replicated this. This is from a cave there in Nevada, actually Winnemucca Dry Lake, like that. That is a burial cave. It is the temple, the Omphalos of Lamia. It's quite huge, maybe the largest petroglyph site in North America. And there is a very long kind of cave that has an entrance, and a series of these in this dark blue-black are painted along the wall. Archaeologists retrieved in there the mummy of a female child, buried with many, many baskets. So this whole thing is a kind of a regeneration. In the goddess culture, what we're calling modernly death is really a fertilization of her. And so everything that's governed in this site has to do with that. The dark blue is really for the fruit plum. The fruit plum, I also, when I was a teenager, I worked on a farm that specialized in growing plums. I know all about plums. And they are indehiscent, meaning when they mature, a full fruit, they retain the seed. That's the symbol here in this ancient culture. When the person finishes their life, they retain the seed for the fertilization of, we'll call her here, the Great Mother. So that is the meaning of this figure painted this way. This is also called, a birthing posture. It's recorded in the illustrations of Maria Gambudas. So for this, this is moon killing event. Come out, come out, come out. The moon has been killed. Who kills the moon? Crow. Who often kills the moon? Eagle. Who usually kills the moon? Chicken hawk. Who also kills the moon? Owl. In their numbers they assemble for moon killing. Come out, throw sticks at your houses. Come out, turn your buckets over. Spill out all the water. Don't let it turn blood yellow from the wounding and death of the moon. What will become of the world? The moon never dies without a cause. Only when a rich man is about to be killed is the moon murdered. Look all around the world. Dance, throw your sticks, help out. Look at the moon. Dark as it is now, even if it disappears, it will come back. Think of nothing. I'm going back into the house. And others, they all turn their backs.